These 30-minute demos will give you an opportunity to learn more about the providers, see their platforms in action, and ask questions. Whether you are in the market for a new LMS or are looking to stay current on the latest LMS suppliers and features, we hope today's demo day helps you learn about the benefits of a variety of options at once. And I'd like to thank today's sponsors: Bluewater, IMC, Totara, Skooks, and Exonify. We couldn't do this event without you, so we appreciate you helping us kick off this inaugural event. A couple of quick logistical items before we get started. All of our speakers plan to keep you engaged today throughout their demos, so if you would like to interact with them and your fellow participants throughout the sessions, please be sure to select everyone in the chat box. And we will be saving time for Q&A throughout each of the demos, so we'll be saving any new or unanswered questions to be addressed during those times. Also, keep in mind that we've built in 15-minute breaks after each demo to give you time to stretch your legs before the next demo starts. And that's it. That's all my housekeeping items. It's actually pretty much it. So we're excited to get started really soon. We're going to be kicking off with Bluewater. They're going to be our first demo for the day, for demo day. And hold on one second, jump into the chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. And yes, I see some questions already. We will have this recorded. The whole day will be recorded, all the demos, so you will receive a follow-up email that has a link to the entire day, all 5 sessions. And there will also be broken out links for each individual demo. So if you want to jump straight to Bluewater, straight to IMC, one of the other demos throughout the day, you'll have the ability to do that when you receive the follow-up email. Let us know where you are joining from. We're so excited that folks are here. Ooh, I am in Bethesda, Maryland, so close by to some of you folks. California, wow, we have some folks who are up bright and early for today's event. We're so excited to have you here. And our numbers keep bouncing up. I'm going to kick you off, Bluewater. I'm very pleased to introduce today's first demo with Bluewater Manage and Develop Deskless Workers. Bluewater has a whole team to guide you through their demo today, so I am going to pass it over to Bennett Jensen, Bluewater's VP of Strategic Partnerships, to take it away and kick us off for today's event.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alexandria. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. I'm Bennett Jensen from Bluewater. And what we really wanted to do is, first off, we're excited to be part of this. As Andrea said, it's the first one, and we are the first demo. So happy to be the inaugural demo of the inaugural ATD Demo Day, which is very exciting. So today we wanted to go through and demo our solution and in regards to, supercharging your LMS experience. And so this is our unique take on the LMS. It's not a purely just a technology demonstration today. What we're demoing is a managed LMS service offering. And so our focus is the demo introduction, or the demo description provided was deskless workers, managing and developing deskless workers. So why deskless workers? Well, deskless workers, according to Forbes and many other reports, make up about 80% of the global workforce, which is a staggering number when you really think about it. And a deskless worker, as you probably know, within your organization or other organizations, is typically someone that doesn't spend most of their day or any other day at a desk or really have direct access to computer throughout their learning or work and onboarding experiences. And so we've developed some solutions to go along with technology and LMS capability to really help drive into the experience for the deskless worker and serve that critical and really underserved area in their learning and development from not having direct access to a computer. So who is Bluewater? Bluewater really is focused on a couple things. Our purpose really is transforming our employees' lives by serving you and engaging yours. And we do that really through what we think is redefining the service in the learning and talent industry through our products, services, relationships, and solutions. And like I said, we focus on relationships, not transactions. We're not, we really focus on being a vendor, but more an extension of your team, which is why in our demo today, you'll see it's really more focused on the solution and how we're helping serve you and work with you versus providing a solution and kind of sitting it within that framework. What we do is really changing the way you leverage learning and talent technology, helping you think about it a little differently, serving the industry a little bit differently, and really helping you advance the goals of your business in a different way. So with me today is Chris Bond, our founder and CEO, as well as Kurt Swain, who's our president of our Bluewater Interactive division. And then our SMEs to help support any questions or more deep dive is Kelsey Brown, our UX manager, as well as Michael Bond, who's our chief technology officer. And so without too much ado, let's jump right into it. And Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of give a little bit more of a breakdown of our managed LMS and overall solution.
Great. Thanks, Bennett. Welcome, everybody. I was looking through the list of participants today and quite a few names that I know, so great to see everybody. At Bluewater, we do a variety of things, but one of the pieces that I'm most excited about is our Managed LMS program. And what that really is a solution that includes not only service, but technology to ensure that you're out changing the way that you leverage learning technology in order to be able to advance business goals. So through the years, and this is our 20th year in business here at Bluewater, we have done over 5,000 learning projects for in excess of 1,200 different organizations. And one of the key elements that we found around what we call our Center of Excellence is that there's 7 core areas that you have to be successful with in order to maximize the value of the LMS. And if any piece of this might be missing, then you're going to be less than successful, or maybe even to the level of frustrated. So in our Managed LMS program, we help you with user experience, content administration, technology, process, data, and reporting, all 7 of these areas. If you look at one, you say, yeah, I'm not sure I need process. Trust me, we'll show you today, process is key. We'll show you how important that user experience is in engaging and then having the right data for managers to be able to immediately make business decisions becomes critical. So all of this begins to fit together in a really unique way. Now, the basis of our presentation today is to show you a demo of 3 different solutions or 3 different problems with one solution. So we've got 3 client stories. Some of them you might identify with. The first one is all about onboarding. So we've got a client that was having a significant problem with learner engagement. And in fact, they were having people that were in the onboarding phase, which was the first month on the job, that were popping out. And the number one reason was because it was so difficult to get through the onboarding training. It was confusing. They really didn't understand it in a way that made them feel like they could be successful at the job. So this organization was increasing the rate of new hires. They're onboarding at a faster rate, so they're trying to compress that time frame, and they're going through organizational digital transformation. The workers were primarily deskless, as Bennett mentioned earlier, and so they needed a different way to attract learners, to engage them and to help them get through the training so that they could be successful. The second problem was specific to deskless workers inside the restaurant industry. And their big problem is always going to be attrition. So there's people moving in and out of the restaurant. And so how do we make sure that they've got the right level of quality because they've got the right training? And in fact, one of the things that this organization has found out is that with the right training early on, it will actually not just reduce attrition, but it will increase the longevity of that individual inside their particular restaurant. And then the final element for them was that they were having issues with getting their general managers and above restaurant leaders the right set of information in order to be able to make decisions. So processing that information, having it available at a click of a button became very, very important. So onboarding deskless workers, and then the biggie, and this is one that I've been after for a long period of time, which is how do we make career pathing better for individuals and for organizations? Because there's a lot of LMSs that are out there when you begin to look at career pathing, and it's a little confusing. Yes, I can use a curricula. Yes, I can put multiple curricula together, but it's not a cohesive experience that makes me feel like I'm really progressing in my career. So we're going to show you some options for how we've done that today and what that might look like. So when we look at those career paths, there's also a reporting element there because you want managers in HR to be able to encourage and bring people together. So going back to the previous screen, the entire idea of user experience, content, administration, technology, process, data, reporting, and analytics is very important in pulling this all together. So who are we trying to really serve with that? There's a variety of industries, from manufacturing to financial services to restaurant to retail, healthcare. All of these organizations that have desk and deskless workers can have a positive experience as they go through their process and look at our different take on what an LMS should be. So what does this really incorporate? For us, 3 pieces of solutions that we package together in order to be able to deliver to you. Managed LMS, which includes technology and service. We can do all the administration and the management of that solution for you. Bluewater Learning Journey Maps, which will be the star of the show today, and then Compliance Dashboard from Bluewater, which is the key to making sure managers have the right information. So these 3 unique solutions packaged together in one seamless experience provides for a great, great method of engaging your workforce and ensuring that your managers are in the right place at the right time with the right information to make critical decisions. So with that, we're going to jump in, and I'm going to take over the screen from you, Bennett, and we're going to begin the demo. So background here a little bit. So we are using Docebo as our demo platform today. So we are an authorized reseller of Docebo. It's part of our managed LMS solution in what we do. And inside Docebo, you're going to get a very typical LMS, but very clean LMS experience. So welcome messages, big videos. We've got things that are pulled in for us through an AI engine to be able to show us things we might be interested in. Or in this particular case, we're following Alex Davies, and Alex is giving us particular information. Those videos and training material will appear. We've got different helpful resources based on job role, based on title. They're going to be pulled in, some of our previous learning experience. So that information all pulls in together. We do have specific training that is assigned to us. I'm not going to jump into it now because it's going to be part of what we're going to show you here in a moment. We can look at what training do we have in progress, or if there's any deadlines, which well done, no deadlines are passed on this particular learner today. We've got the ability to go see critical events or critical timelines inside the calendar. And then the entire approach here is gamified. So I can see what badges I've earned. How do I attach badges to learning activities, things that are not yet awarded badges, things that I've gotten progress that I need to complete, and what are my total points. Now, if I go click up here in the top right-hand corner, I can actually go in and look at and see the leaderboard of people in my organization or in my specific division, and how are they doing against me, and even check on their progress and compare that to my progress. So great basic stuff from this LMS and how we look at things. I've even got the ability to go in and search. So I want to look for any results that play to LMS. I can look at all the resorts, courses, training plans. I can register, training materials, all those great things that really can help me make it easy to be able to be in an LMS and to run it. But as Bennett mentioned at the beginning, we want to be able to supercharge that. So I'm going to bring in now Kurt Swain, who's the president of our interactive division, and we're going to talk a little bit through the things that we've done to make the Bluewater Managed LMS supercharged for your particular experience. Kurt.
Great. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Well, as Chris said, you can look at this kind of standard LMS layout for a worker, and tying it back to our scenarios and our client stories with onboarding, you can see that this particular page is set up for International Airways. It's a fictional brand that we created, but I want you to think about a user or a learner today, and his name is Danny Love. And Danny Love is brand new to International Airways. And Danny is what they call below the wing as an employee. And Danny is a Deskless worker who loves technology because he uses it every day. He's in his young 20s, but he doesn't engage in the technology in the way that we think about it in learning and development. So when Danny steps in and they say, hey, start your learning and onboarding through this interface, you can see Danny may not know exactly what to do. You have to explore a little bit. You have to get used to it. You have to kind of wade into it. It also isn't quite as customized or quite as culturally aligned as we'd like it to be for the brand itself. And how are we selling into Danny on welcome aboard, welcome to International Airways, you're part of the team, you're part of the culture. So if there's any way that we can improve this experience, how can we make it simple and easy to use? Well, let's look at this page, and now let's see. The first thing that Danny should see is this. Chris, if you would please. All right. So now Danny has been onboarded, and Danny has a learning journey map. So here's my journey through the onboarding experience. It's laid out in a nice, clean, simplistic modality, and it's got some nice, beautiful graphics to go with it. It aligns to the brand, it aligns to the culture, and specifically, it kind of aligns to the line of business. We're talking about International Airways, and we're traveling around the globe to learn more and more along our onboarding experience. Now, I'm going to point out a couple of basic features that are here as well. And so, Chris, kind of some global resourcing or help features. So, Chris, if you'd select the resources tab, please, on the left. Part of this learning journey map allows us to have resources available, and they could be materials, they could be pretty much anything that are just open and available throughout the journey itself. So these are global resources that Danny can reference whenever he's stuck or just needs to a little reminder or refresher or to look something up independently. So that's always available to Danny. And then there's also a virtual coach in Docebo that Danny has access to get some answers and can have an ongoing conversation, ongoing thread to continue through the onboarding process. But getting back to the learning journey map, you can see that this is laid out by location in order. This one is very prescriptive. You must build, this particular client wanted this to be a prescriptive learning journey to where you have to complete one module before moving to the next. It's also aligned geographically. Each module is aligned to a location on the map. But because it's prescriptive, you have to complete one to move the other, but that doesn't mean you can't get a preview. So we've allowed the opportunity for Danny to explore a little bit as well to see what's coming up, say in module 4. So now Danny can see that in module 4, we'll be covering airway basics in Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, Danny can't open the course yet because it is locked, excuse me, but at least he has some idea, a preload as to what's going on in each step of the way. So again, not only does it guide and push someone along the journey, it allows them to see what's coming up next in their journey. So if we can go back to the map, please, Chris. And we'll get started in just a minute in module 1, but what's really happening here, also want to point out that each of these stops right now, we're going to show you a very quick set of courses to get through, and that's to advance the learning journey. We're not going to take you through the whole learning process. So these are some quick courses that will just pop out, but it could be a curriculum. It could be a learning path. It could be pretty much anything behind each one of these stops, one of these waypoints. So let's get started. So the first start point is module 1, and Danny gets his boarding pass and is ready to go. So welcome to International Airways. We're going to launch this course, and we're going to quickly step through. It's only 2 screens. We wanted to be as quick as we can around getting this showing in the learning journey map. We go back to the learning journey map. And now we can see that Danny has now moved to module 2. He's completed his trip. Module 1 is marked complete, and that's the active place. So again, we can see that it's a pretty easy, simple interface to use to guide you through this process. There's not a lot of questions around what should I do next. One of the feedback to our client, our customer, was they were dropping out because they were getting frustrated. They didn't know where to go, what to do next through this linear process. And so this certainly addresses that. And when we think about Deskless workers, we're not just concerned about Danny. We're also concerned about that frontline manager, that frontline supervisor who has to monitor Danny's progress and others through this learning journey. How do they know what's going on with the team that they're in charge of, ensuring that they're up to speed so they can perform on the job? So now we're going to go take a look at another character. This is Wrongway Corrigan. And Wrongway is the frontline manager. Doesn't always have access to a computer throughout the entire thing, but Wrongway can now check Danny's progress in a learning journey map. We're going to refresh this. And you can see now that the 5th one down there, I believe, is Danny, and he has now completed module 1. So it's not real time, but it's near real time results. Imagine having the power in your hands as a supervisor, manager, or even a general manager at a restaurant, and you can see who has taken what training or who needs to take training going through this process. So we can see that it advances and it moves pretty quick through this. And let's go ahead and have Danny go ahead and take another course real quick. And we'll move from module 2 after we complete it to module 3. And now that Danny has completed module 2 in Frankfurt, he's off to his next stop. Oh, I'm sorry, London to Frankfurt. He's now in Frankfurt, so he's getting ready to take off there. And I'm actually adding some filler space here because we want to see the results. So if we can go back to Wrongway says, hey, how's Danny doing? Let's go back and take a look again. And now you can see that Danny has completed both module 1 and module 2. So what's another interesting aspect of this is Wrongway can continue to look down, and he's looking at some of the participants and sees Heather down there. And you'll pardon the pun here, but Heather seems to have stalled out on module 6, kind of a dad joke there. So how do we get Heather to move forward? Well, with one click, now Wrongway can notify Heather via email and prompt her to get going. We don't have time to show all this, but Heather gets a notification from Wrongway and says, oh, I need to continue my training. You can see right here, Heather's halfway in between module 6 and module 7. She needs to get going again, need to complete module 6. So Heather clicks on module 6. Launches the course or continues the course. In this case, we'll continue a curriculum, continue a course, whatever the training may be. Once the course is complete, go back to the learning journey map. And again, Heather has started her progress again and can be controlled or monitored by Wrongway. So if we go back to see what Wrongway is seeing again,
And Kurt, one of the things I want to make sure that we point out here is that there are different statuses that will exist here. So if it's not assigned, this will not be grayed out. It'll have little dotted line circle. You've got grayed lines. This is the in progress. We refresh and she should be complete almost. This is part of the almost in real time.
There you
There
go.
we go.
So again, it can take, in 30 seconds, could take a minute for it to update, but that's still very efficient and very fast for most training tracking, especially when you have Wrongway, who's not an LMS admin, doesn't want to be an LMS admin. Wrongway wants to make decisions about the team, track their progress, and make business decisions in the moment of need. So that's a key factor in that. And of course, this doesn't just apply to the aviation industry. We talked about restaurant, retail, and hospitality. I think we're going to jump over and see an example of that, where you can see how a compliance dashboard and/or journey map would be really effective in that industry. So here, what you're seeing is this is again a fictional brand that we've created. It's called Water Wings. It serves chicken by the sea, and it's called Water Wings because chickens can't swim. But we created this in a way to demonstrate lots of different things. We can show journey maps, we can show managed LMS, we can show dashboards as well as content. But this one is a little bit different design. So this one has kind of a two-tiered system, and it's exploratory by nature. They didn't have a prescriptive, or we didn't want to have a prescriptive layout of processed learning. So Chris, if you want to click anywhere, it could be front of house, it could be back of house. You can see where now we have the actual learning modules that can take place. In this case, yeah, if you click there, this is the water wing sandwich. You can learn more about building the water wing, the wonderful sandwich with the great sauce that's SPF delicious, as we say. So we can back out of that and go back to the overall view. And then Chris, if you'll click on the training checklist at the bottom right even. Here we're kind of tracking completions in a simple layout. You will see it certainly there, but here you can say, hey, out of the 3 in this location or that location, I'm getting my chickens filled in. So it's always available and always online. It looked like you were heading towards the front of the house too, Chris, if you wanted to show that. So again, if you wanted to learn how to take an order or how to do third-party delivery, all those things are outlined in this learning journey map. And with that, Chris, I think I'm going to pitch it back over to you. You wanted to talk about onboarding. I know that's holds a special, not onboarding, career development and pathing. That's special to your heart. So I'm going to pitch it back over to you.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you, Kurt. And Kurt will be available for questions. And I know that there's a few coming in. Bennett's going to help get us organized around that. This is another one for a client where their real struggle was around career pathing, and how do we create a visual career path that helps guide them through a process. So in this particular mountain path, as they call it, I've already completed the initial module, and now I'm moving into phase 2. And so as I move to phase 2, I can click on that link. It takes me into a chapter. I'm able to launch the chapter and move through. Now, each one of these, this is sequential. So there are prerequisites to every single course that are set up in the LMS. That's reflected in the journey map and how it's delivered. And so you have to complete that item in the journey map in order for the LMS to process the data to be able to move you to the next step. But it doesn't have to be that way. You could have segments of this inside a journey map that allow you to be able to skip over, and you might be interested in something that's a little bit different up here in module 5. And so I want to go take that as opposed to be on module 2. Those type of things are very, very easy to be able to work through. The great thing that we have here, though, in all of the journey maps is that this is a part of the Bluewater LMS experience. The journey maps, the reports, everything that we see together is part of how we've supercharged the LMS to be just a little bit different. So whether you're looking at onboarding, you're looking at specific training around a job or a skill, or you're looking at career development, the Bluewater LMS experience is something that's very, very different from anything that I know that I've seen out on the market in my almost 30 years now of being in the learning industry and 20 years of running Bluewater. So we're very, very excited to share this with you. Bennett, I'm going to pitch it back over to you because it looks like we've got a number of questions that may be in chat.
Sorry, I was talking to myself on mute as typical. We do have a lot of questions. First off, to maybe answer some of the questions real quick to wrap the demo up. As Chris has mentioned, 3 unique solutions in one package. So the Bluewater Managed LMS, which certainly can include the Bluewater Learning Journey Maps and Bluewater Compliance Dashboards in a variety of ways. But the Managed LMS is a full, holistic LMS solution. So as Chris mentioned, we're a resale partner with Docebo. We're going to be able to provide the great, leading LMS technology that Docebo and a few others, might have with their name, which is great. But the Managed LMS solution also is going to provide the implementation of that, the customizations that we've shown on the front end for your learners, for your extended enterprise learners and vendor partners and suppliers, et cetera. I saw a question there that absolutely we love working with organizations that distribute learning or train outside of their organization as well. But it's also going to provide the day-to-day administration and the top level administration and the operational part of the business. So we're really becoming part of your team to not only provide a solution, but to help administer and manage the solution for you going forward. And so hopefully that helps answer some of the questions that I had seen, but maybe a couple others, Chris, as I get that pulled back up.
Yeah, Bennett, one of the ones that I see down here at the bottom from Garrett was, does Bluewater sit on top of Docebo or does it work with any other LMS platforms? So the way that we do this, we actually integrate this with other LMS platforms. So So we've integrated, in our demo today has been on Docebo. So you are in Docebo, operating in Docebo. It looks like you're in Docebo and always working there. And so that's really important. We do that with numbers of other LMSs as well. So Docebo is a great option, but Cornerstone, SumTotal, a variety of others, we can do the exact same thing that you've seen here as a part of the demonstration today.
Great. And on that same vein, Chris, Leanne asked, so does Bluewater supercharge our LMS or are they an LMS provider?
We can do both. So we can provide a learning management system along with the things that we're doing today and do that holistically. Or if you've got a current LMS, then we can provide many of the same features that you see today as a part of supercharging an existing LMS. So if you're not ready to move off your current vendor and maybe want to give it another shot, we've got a way to be able to help you with that. If you're looking to move, then we can help you with that entire move process and provide you an LMS and all the features that we've shown you today.
So with just a minute left, one more, I think, before we close. Britt asks, what kind of course catalog does Bluewater have? Coming from the financial industry, compliance-related courses is a big portion of our current LMS. And there's a follow-up from Nancy that's similar, Chris. Are banking compliance courses able to be taken through this platform? So maybe you can touch on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Britt and Nancy, thank you very much for both of your questions. I'll see if I can answer it in one. So we've got a variety of courses that are available in a library. We work with our customers to select what they want as a part of the managed services offering. We do have access to financial services, professional services, courseware, banking courseware, bank courses can be through there. If you've got your own content, then we want to be able to use that. If you've got industry related content, then we definitely want to work with those vendors to be able to bring that in. So content is definitely available with the platform. We would love to talk to you about what that looks like and what type of courses and content that you would want as a part of this, because again, all 7 of those areas, we got to make sure content's taken care of, but that's the critical thing to making all of these pieces of the LMS work. So not only the LMS, the managed services, a full content library offering, as well as the learning journey maps and the compliance dashboards.
Great. Thank you, Chris.
All right. I think, Bennett, we've hit our time. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Alexandria and ATD, for allowing us to do this. Thank you for everyone who's joined us today. This has been a great experience for us. Our Bluewater Managed LMS, it includes all those items. We have short-term and long-term plans that you can use. So if you want to try it as you buy it, then that's great. Know that this is a solution. It's not just licenses, because at Bluewater, we know that licenses don't solve business problems. And that's what we're in the business of doing. Final thing, if you participated in the demo today, we'll give you 10% off on all Bluewater services for the next 60 days. You've got Kurt and my contact information here. Reach out to us. You can reach out through ATD. We'll follow up with you. We'd love to be able to find a way to help you out, solve some business problems, save some money, and get things done quickly. So thank you so much for everything that y'all have been a part of today. We really appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the demos, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.